covered a lot of topics tonight. How are we doing with Sam? Make some noise for yourselves. We're hanging out. Appreciate that.
For people that fear going on an open mic or wanting to get into stand-up comedy, do you have advice for them?
Okay, I have so much stand-up comedy advice I give all the time. One, my biggest piece of advice I give anybody is write from your perspective and write about yourself. This is not gonna apply to everybody. I have great friends. I have like my friend Liam Baker. He's funny as hell and his comedy is very much more abstract.
I came all the way from my house and boy is my penis tired.
But you're not always going to get there in your first few sets, and I always tell people, write about yourself. I feel like a lot of people like watch the news and trending topics on the internet, and that's the first thing they want to write about, but I don't care about you. I just met you. Make me care about you. Say something about yourself. Say something about your relationship with your parents, your partner, your work. It's like, that's the easiest, that's the thing you know the most about, and that's the easiest jumping off point. And the stuff you write about yourself is the most universal. So if you've like gone through like something tragic, you can make that into something funny. If there's something weird about you, you can make that into something funny. What's something people say you look like or do or act like? That's where the humor comes in, because you think that's so unique to you, but really it's universal and people will see it. And I think people should stray away from like talking about the trending internet things of the day, because then those jokes aren't useful anymore 4 days from now. Living at home with your parents while you're still hooking up is interesting, because you have to like tell your parents if people are coming over, because you don't want them to like wake up to a random person in their home. But then I'll tell my mom, I'll be like, yeah, somebody's coming over later, I'm seeing them, whatever. And they'll be like, oh, do they want to have dinner with us? And I'm like, no, they want to fuck me while Roku City plays in the background. I lived in Atlanta for 3 years, and I kind of ran out of money, if you will say, and I got evicted. So I had to move back with my parents who live in Charleston. Luckily, I was already producing a show here called Don't Tell Comedy. It's like in every state. So I was already producing that, so I had a purpose to be here. And then when I moved here, it was 1 month before Josh was opening Wits End, and I just frantically Facebook messaged him and I was like, I'm moving back to Charleston. Give me any job you have at Wits End. I'll do it for free. And now I'm gainfully employed here. I work back of house. He pays me, and then I host here all the time too. So I got super lucky with the timing of like moving back home and then actually having something to do and work for. And like being part of a smaller scene is super rewarding, because when you're in a big scene, you're constantly in the rat race and you're constantly comparing yourself to everyone, and you get frustrated more easily. When you're in a small scene, you're just constantly trying to build everybody up and get more and more things going, and it's really, really rewarding. I've done shows like in Monk's Corner where it was all older folks, and I was like, I'm gonna be so clean. And then they hated that, and then as soon as I started doing my dirtier material, they were like, hell yeah, this is funny as hell. When I started talking about porn and like wiping my ass, they were like, yeah, we know about this stuff, this is funny. So sometimes if you prejudge the vibe of a crowd, it's like completely wrong. I think the only thing you can truly go off of is if you're later in a set and you're watching all the other comics, their pitfalls, their strengths in the crowd, and that you can go off of. And I always recommend people watch other people's sets, because then you're not bringing up something 3 comics brought up, which is such a thing you see, especially when comics are all the same age. It's like, okay, 4 comics talked about Tinder. You don't need to do your Tinder bit too. I was like, damn, you do edibles? Didn't know you were cool as shit. And she was like, yeah, I've been doing edibles for 3 years. You thought it was just like this? And I was like, yeah, I did. I thought you had Alzheimer's. I have a favorite moment. It wasn't even a guy heckling, but I was at Laughing Skull Lounge, and I was going into a closing bit I have about having a miscarriage, which is kind of deep and a little dark. and there was like a group of 3 younger guys sitting in the front row, feet up on the stage, vaping. And so I start doing the joke, and then I go, "Are you seriously gonna vape in the middle of me doing my miscarriage bit?" And the guy goes, "Oh, sorry." And then I go, "No, it's good." I take his vape, I hit the vape. And I'm just like, "Don't do this. You're not supposed to do this at the club." And I made them laugh and kind of made everybody laugh with me. And then I like finished the bit. But it was a good way to be kind of like a little bit like attack them, but come back in a way where you're like, "Oh, we're all friends. We're all having a good time. I'm just kind of like giving you a hard time," instead of like making them feel super attacked, which I was like, this is gonna be funny. And it's funny because it's a clip of me talking about a miscarriage and then taking a vape hit in the middle of it, which is super ironic. But like my overall philosophy with hecklers, if people are talking a lot when you're about to get on stage, the best thing you can do is have a good set and not pay attention to them, kind of drown them out, because then they'll start laughing and paying attention. If you just start off your set strong and get everybody engaged, then you're like, don't have to worry about it. If you have that like innate sense to be on stage and speak in front of people, you're golden. Like that is one of the biggest parts of comedy. I mean, it's half joke writing, half stage presence. It's like this marriage, and you have to have both to have a really good set. What do I want to get out of comedy? I want to write a TV show. That's probably my biggest goal, and that's like has a lot of steps under it, right? So I want to get bigger in stand-up. I want to work on other projects, smaller projects, but I got to act this year in a one-woman show, and that was really insane. And I want to act more, write more, sketches and longer form comedy, and then hopefully in the next 10 years I can write a TV show and put all my friends in it. And that's like my ultimate goal, is to write like a classic, funny, like Always Sunny style comedy show starring me and my friends. I'm Liv Smith. I'm a comic here at Wits End, and I host the Wednesday night open mic.